Hello everyone, I thought I'd be brave by doing yet another Battlefield 2 video tonight, but this time around I thought I'd actually focus on the infantry, one of the more infantry heavy maps, and I realised I hadn't really given that much love lately, so I thought tonight I would try to rectify that and show you guys some gameplay. Single player once more, because if I try join any server, I'm going to start it off strongly there by team killing someone, but if I join any Battlefield 2 hub server, I get lovely 300 ping. I know there's an Australian server on, but that's mainly a co-op one and there's barely anyone on, so it would barely be any different from what I'm doing right now. But yeah, this map is quite a fun one. It's Operation Road Rage. It's the 16 player variant with the usual 32 bots on each side, so I'm sure this is going to go down a treat. But I wanted to play this map because I haven't really... I mean, I remember playing this map on Project Reality more because they did have a single-player map pack, which included a lot of vanilla Battlefield 2 maps, which had a lot of interesting things going on there. Would have been really cool if they included those maps again in single-player. I know there's a lot of single-player content in that game these days, but it would have been really cool if they did that again because I love those single-player map packs. They had some really cool stuff going on there. But anyway, yeah, this map, I mean, it continues that sort of trend really. I hadn't discovered this map until I read about it on the Battlefield 2 wiki and was like, oh, that'd be cool to play, and then never got any of the updates until we moved away from country Victoria and then had proper internet access, and then downloaded all the patches and so on and so forth. But yeah, so this map is really cool, and I love that the Armored Fury expansion had some wacky vehicles. I wish I showed you guys those, and I probably should have shown you them in hindsight, but I kind of forgot, so yeah, that's a bit awkward. Maybe I'll, milk another video out of that, I guess. But yeah, this was a fun little map, and in spite of it being a small-scale map, I mean, the grenade spam was utterly atrocious. I mean, you can see there, it got absolutely swarmed with grenades, and it's a reoccurring theme, because, yeah, I didn't realize kind of how bad the grenade spam is in this game, and when I started playing this game online a little bit again back in, well, back in March, actually, more applicably. I was going to say, like, last year or something, but no, it was really back in March. I noticed that some of the more really experienced players, I mean, I got schooled a lot in that game online, but a lot of the top tier daily players would more often or not use grenades in short throws, because of course you can do the standard throw, which will throw at a set distance depending on how high you arc it and whatnot, but then there's also the short throw you can do, and I noticed a lot of people do that and then just jump around like maniacs, basically trying to avoid getting shot, and it worked, which was kind of infuriating. I mean, I guess, game mechanics are there to be exploited, aren't they? People will find ways to sort of cheese the game mechanics and work around that. But yeah, I thought it was quite funny in hindsight. But again, it's not like I could really do much with 300 ping to my name, so that made that rather uninteresting. I did have some old footage that I did share on one of my very first videos back of me trying to play the game online, and yeah, that really didn't work. It was pretty funny thinking about that actually in hindsight, but more to the point, I managed to get the co-op servers working on this game again. Now, I alluded to that in my previous video a little bit by playing Battlefield 21 and 42, and talking about Battlefield 2 because I guess the games are kind of intertwined with each other. But I'd mentioned that, yeah, I was able to get the servers working, well, a local server working, and was able to play it from there. And I was actually going to play it with a couple of friends, but then me and my dad decided we ended up playing it a bit later on that night. But I thought it was relatively interesting because it involved me reviving my old gaming laptop that I got in my last year of high school, and I kind of neglected that laptop in the latter stages of 2021 because the battery on it is cooked, and as I'll explain later, you'll know how cooked it really is. But yeah, I basically got that laptop working again, got it up to the latest version of Windows 10 because it's for some reason not compatible with Windows 11. It has TPM 2.0, it has Secure Boot, it has 60 gig of RAM. It has a pretty capable CPU, but it's not that kind of CPU that they're looking for. It's an Intel 7700 HQ, so it's a mobile CPU, and it's got a mobile version of the 1050 Ti in it. So the GPU isn't anything really to write home about, even when it came out. But for whatever reason, Windows 11 just doesn't want to install. It just says it's just not compatible. I guess I could just do some registry overrides or anything like that, but I'm more or less seeing that as an excuse to finally commit to Linux to some degree. But I'll probably need to get a new battery in it anyway, because Windows, the PC health check software, I don't know how accurate it is with its battery, but it was telling me that my battery was at 18% of its design capacity, which I don't think I've ever seen anything that low in my life in terms of battery health. Even some iPhones, I think my mum's old work iPhone, or old iPhone before she upgraded to her iPhone XS Max, that got as low as 63%, and that was unusable. And this laptop is at 18. I put it on power mode, unplugged, and it dies in 30 seconds, which is genuinely impressive. But on that note, getting a local co-op server to work on this is a bit fickle, and I mean, I kind of forgot. I knew the challenge would be there for that, and I recognized as such because when I loaded up Battlefield 2 on my Dell laptop, my gaming laptop, the server showed up no problem on my HP, which is the laptop that I got given from work, of all things. There was a whole thing there. I managed to win a 3,000 Australian dollar laptop from work because I apparently sold enough Windows PCs and Office to win enough raffle entries to win this laptop. So, although in saying that, I distinctly remember trash talking Windows a lot during that last holiday period when I was working. I mean, you know, it's retail, so you can just, I don't know, I just kind of wing it really. Seems to do well enough for me. And then it'd show up on my gaming computer, which is the computer I'm recording this very footage on. I'm doing the voiceovers on this through my phone, admittedly, but that's going to change soon enough. I'm actually going to get a microphone off a mate of mine and try use that and see if that works any better. We'll see, I guess. But yeah, the server would show up across the other two computers on my hosted from my Dell, no problem. And so I thought, okay, we'll load up on every single one, right? So I tried it on my HP laptop, and none of the other two computers would pick it up. Actually, no, my gaming computer did, and the Dell didn't. So I'm like, okay, that's a bit odd. And so I tried my gaming computer, where the HP wouldn't pick it up, but then the Dell would pick it up. So I don't know what config there is to fix that, or you know what I've done wrong in the config files or something like that, but I thought it was quite interesting because again it just goes to show in the scheme of things, you know, this game is still running really well on modern operating systems and will run on Linux and whatnot. And you know, if you're brave enough, you can probably use Rosetta or Wineskin Wrapper to get it running on Mac OS with few issues. But it's kind of quite amusing to me that the game still has its noticeable quirks. It's very much, you know, still got bugs and some funky things going on here and there, but I guess that's the beauty of early 2000s PC gaming, isn't it? Or even just PC gaming in general, really. It's just, yeah, I was just kind of genuinely dumbfounded by that. So I remember I had issues with that about 12 years ago, trying to set up a local co-op server when me and my brother and a mate would play the Battlefield 2 Omnicide zombie mod, which is a really good mod, actually. You see I die a lot. This video, this clip, this whole match was not a very good match for me, honestly. I just kept dying. But I guess when you're out in the open, on this map, you kind of need a vehicle, and then you're going to get swarmed with grenade spam or bots using the anti-tank class that will just shred your vehicle. But yeah, I just remembered playing that mod, and I should do a mod showcase on that mod, because that mod was genuinely tense, and playing that co-op on some of those maps was so much fun. And then of course, like, you know, there was the tension. I think I've just come up with a new video idea while I'm recording the current one. Funny that. Oh well, I mean, that'll come in the next few days. I've got to give my voice a bit of time to rest though, because working in retail means you are a chatterbox. And my throat has been the primary issue of me being ill these last couple of days, as I alluded to in my previous video. So that's a bit of fun. You get to hear deeper voice me for once. You know, I'm 27 and I still got a relatively high-pitched voice for a 27-year-old, so that makes me feel great. I'm also quite short for my age too. I managed to find out, I didn't really put too much thought into it up until recently, and I just kind of assumed I was 6 foot, and my cousin and a couple of mates who I used to stream with, actually, more or less, actually. They were laughing at me, being like, "You're not 6 foot," and I'm like, "Bullshit, I am." And one basic, not very good attempt at trying to figure out my height didn't really work out. It was like 5'11" or something. I'm like, yeah, 5'11", 6, close enough, yeah. Just block the tank and like kill 3 of my own allies in the process. And then I definitively found out when I had to do I think it was a check, when I did my mental health check thing or something back in March. No, I was going way further back than that. It was something else that I did a check, and it turns out I was like 5'10". So I am very much an average height male, very much an average male in the modern era. So that made me feel great. But this game makes me feel great. And we're pretty much approaching the end of the video. Apologies for going on a rant again. It was very rambly, this video, but I'll make sure the next one's a little bit more focused. But anyway, guys, I'll leave it to there. Basically the end of the match. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.